So we talked about going real slow with the metronome this week for at least one of these 4-note coil drills. So this way you're able to really watch your picking hand to make sure that it's going the right direction. So that first pattern we have, and this is exactly how you want to play it, all 4 repetitions straight through, no pauses. Next one sounds like this. And the last one. So ideally, if you can do all 3 of those by increasing the metronome by 1 beat per minute until you max out, great. If it's too time consuming, just do at least one. Do at least one, especially for like a warm-up type thing. So this way, when you go to doing the 5-note or 5 beat per minute increase, again, hopefully your picking will be more where you want it to be. So the pull-offs, going through this guy. So the goal is have all 3 fingers down for each group of 3 notes that you're doing. So when you're starting off, make sure you get your index, third, and pinky down already, so once you hit that first note, those fingers are ready to go. And then you got to get the pinky and the ring finger down. The goal is to do it at the same time when you go for that second group of 3 notes. And when you switch strings, you want to aim to get all 3 fingers over at the same time. Jump all 3 over. Jump all 3 over. Failed pinch. That's a better one. So yeah, practice it slow enough. So when you got the metronome going slow, when you start, really watch those fretting fingers. Aim to get all 3 fingers over when you jump from string to string. Whenever you pull off 2, you want to make sure you have down in advance. So, also practice these clean, because it's going to be more challenging to get the notes to sound when you're doing it with no distortion. Especially when the volume's too low. Now, if I don't get my fingers down in advance, I'll try and show what it would sound like. I'll try and do the technique I say not to do. Versus hopefully you can hear the volume difference there. I don't know if the webcam mic is going to work well enough on that or not. If it doesn't make a difference over the camera, I'll do it here. But hopefully you can hear a difference between this being louder here and then quiet. So that's why you really got to get your fingers to hook off there. So the other one we did, hold the strings down with your fret or pick hand, and then go from string to string, pulling off to the 5, making sure the pull-off motion going straight down is what's producing the sound, producing the note. then to make sure that the strings are being muted properly when you are doing your pull-offs here. So yeah, the E string, you're already hooking off like that, which is what you want to do on all these strings. So just make sure you have your index finger barely touching the next strings, so when you pull off from like your B to the E string, your index finger should be touching, I'm trying to get that into view, so your index finger should be touching the E string when you're playing on the B string. So when you pull off from the B string, the E string's muted. So it's like your index finger's not completely flat, and it's not completely on the tip either. Kind of in between, something that you gotta do when you have a lot of distortion happening to get rid of all that unwanted noise. Alright, if you got any questions, let me know. I will see you again in a week.